some people say, Stephen, why don't you cover modern commercials? I do. It's just that you can learn a lot from all commercials, both new and old. It's good to know how things were done before, but also how things are done now. I agree. It's good to know. So let's look at one of my favorite modern commercials. This is a soulless granny who discovers her inner self through the product. Let's check this out. I am offering a mentorship if you feel you need it, more at the end. And be sure to check out the free guides and popular commercial interview setups. It's linked below, StephenLifeStudy.com. It's institutional knowledge that you won't get at film school. This is why I love commercials. Sometimes you get to tell the most ridiculous stories and shoot something that you never would with narrative. And so here we have old lady saying farewell to her, I don't know, whoever it is. Let's start with this white shot because I want to walk you through not necessarily what they did, but how you can do it yourself. What I would do in this situation. So right here we have, okay, so we have a close-up, another close-up, and then here's the wide. Okay, so here, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 shots here. Here's the widest. They're all different, and this is how I would do it. So they have set it up so that the sun is in a setting position. It might be up there. The sun might even be down here. They want to shoot this when the sun is in a backlight position so it doesn't cast down on our person and screw up what we are planning to do. And so by having the sun back there, it's going to be out of the way. This is great. So location is great. You need to find a location that allows for this. So what they have done here, but you notice Granny still has some edge on her. How odd is that? So there's a couple things going on here. One is you have some negative around her in the form of these trees, which is dropping one side. The other side is a lot brighter though. That's because just out of frame somewhere, let's pop it out. Just out of frame somewhere, there is a light. And what I would do, so there's a couple ways you can do this. One is to have a light way out here. Throwing light on Granny, and that's going to give her that edge. There's a problem with that though, because it would cast a shadow, and it would also hit fence. Now you'll notice that fence seems to be a little bit brighter right here than right here. That's first. But you also notice that there is no shadow. So what is another way you could do this? You can, and what I would have suggested, and this is I love visual effects, and I love what it can do for you. Not like CG effects, but what simple masking can do. So I would ask the gaffer to build an arm to place a light. We'll have some type of soft light up here. And he can build an arm with the, whatever. And we shoot this shot, and it's locked down, and we shoot the shot, and the car escapes. And then that's that. And then Granny is getting this wonderful edge on her, and it's soft enough that you don't really see it right there. It's just too blurry, or it's blurry enough. And now we see Granny. It's not about getting an edge, it's about lighting her up and making sure that she is popping from the rest of the shot. So you notice how this is darker than this, and this is dark. But look at Granny. Granny is not dark. Granny is popping, and that's what I would have done. And it's not hard, and it's not labor intensive or time intensive. I mean, building this menace rig, it would take some time, but you're going to use it for these other shots anyway. And so once you get this once you get this shot done, then you swing the arm out or have them roll it out. And it'll take like 5 minutes for them to do that safely. And then you just keep rolling. And now you have your plate shot so that you can replace the background here behind all of this. And you just mask that out. That's it. That's what I would do. But you can also, you know, if you're too afraid of trying that, you can also just throw the light in from here and deal with this getting hit and deal with a shadow there. You can try to flag it off, but again, the closer you are to the fixture, you have to be out of frame. The more blurry, the less the less targeted this will be, and so it will just it'll just be like a soft effect. Yeah. So let's move on. So the tight shot of her is a lot brighter. So they've walked in whatever that light is. They've walked it in, and I would have done the same thing. Probably a 4x4 frame would be fine for this. You can see a beautiful dot in the eyeball. Beautiful. And look at that shape on the face. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And then, yeah, it's lighting it up. Oh, it's freaking gorgeous. They did such a good job with this. And then all of this is seeing those trees that I was talking about. That's the shade. Anyway. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This shot is easy. You just have a production light somewhere up there and bada boom. This shot, oh, this is cool. So what likely happened here for something like this is this whole rig is art department will get an oven and gut it. So it's just the interior shell. And then you can utilize the light up there, or you can use a puck light, which is probably what I would do because it's easy. A little puck light, like any magnetic light, just an LED light, stick it up there. If you have to see it, then you have to use it practically for what it is. But they framed it out, and it looks like they're using a Pro Mist because you can see the veiling that it's casting over the lens. It's just making it not flare, but just a veil. Pro Mist, any kind of mist filter will do that. Anyway, so that by having this prop here pre-built and lightweight, you can position it anywhere on the set to get your background, the background that you want. And then you just shoot it, and then you can pull it out and continue shooting. And instead of trying to utilize an oven that's already there, you can't control the background. This is a much better solution. Oh, and I mean, if you want to talk about the light, it's really easy. They just have a 90-degree, light over here shooting in the face, and it seems to be a harder light, if not just a hard light, that's casting all of this. Hard light is preferred right here, given what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell that Granny she's in an oppressive land. She doesn't like this place. She's not happy. She's sitting there eating a cookie. And this is one of my favorite shots. The framing is lovely. I don't talk about cinematography that much. I talk more about the practicality of getting your shot. But the framing here, dude, this is perfect. I love it. Whoever shot this, I want to shake your hand. So they're shooting into the L of the room. This shape right here of this stove coming out, just coming towards camera like this. Oh, it's great. And then they have her next to a window. The window light is poking in. They have added a fixture outside that window, which is creating this hard edge right there. And that would be in the kicker position. So that's 45 degrees backlight. One of the main reasons why I like this is because her eyes are dark. Oh, but Steven, you always say, make sure the eyes are lit. They're dead if you don't have light on them. Exactly. They're dead because she's dead inside. And so by not having any light on her eyes, it sure seems like she's in this dark world. That is awesome. Moving on. Oh man. And then you can see the Pro Mist acting really well here. It could be any kind of mist filter. There's a variety of them. Some are more extreme than others. Some, like for instance, the Black Pro Mist has black dots instead of white ones or clear ones, and each one does something a little bit different. The Black Pro Mist doesn't lift the blacks. It's not supposed to. Anyway, what they're doing here, so anything that's bright is going to veil. So it's just going to bloom. That's the word I was looking for, bloom. But it looks like a veil that, a lens flare. One of the lens flare types is called a veil. And it's the same thing. It's the same mechanic. So that Pro Mist is acting super huge here. It's just making the whole shot kind of cloudy and low contrast. And oh my gosh, lighting it right. So it's really easy. This right here, a really easy setup. It's just they have a side light pushing in, and that's what's hitting Lady right here. That's what's hitting her right. Oh, it looks to be, is that a hard light? It could even be a hard light. Oh, you know what it is? It is absolutely a hard light. Look at all these wrinkles. Oh my gosh, they just have a freaking hard light. Maybe with like an opal, just to soften it. I never like going straight to the face with any fixture. Just never go straight to the face. That's what I say. You break it with something, even if it's an opal, because in the natural world, there's only one hard light, and that's the sun. So I mean. So some people might say that I'm making up rules. I don't like people that follow rules, and I don't necessarily follow that as a rule all the time. But whenever I can, I try to keep it from being a harsh light, because especially with these HMIs, we're going to talk about the freaking HMIs. They are a giant reflector with the bulb. It's freaking ridiculous. You have your cathode and you have your anode, and then inside you have like this right here. That's where it arcs from one side to the other. That arc is a little bead. It's a little bead. And that is the brightest spot of the entire light. Even when it hits the hammering of the reflector, it's not hammered, but the reflector is got all these angles to try to reflect all that light forward. But none of those reflections are as bright as your little bead right here. And that little bead casts really sharp shadows, and it's sharper than the sun. And so that is the reason why I always try to break, especially an HMI without a lens. Without a lens, if it has a lens, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit better, but still, especially without a lens, like a par light. Anyway, moving on. I spent way too much time on that. Oh, this is so much better. They've softened it. And for tight shots, I would do the same thing. You have your light coming in. So I always try to keep an extra light on the floor for cases like this, whenever you're doing your coverage and the area lighting that you've done doesn't work for the shot that you're for the tight shot that you're getting. You have a frame on standby And then you have like something, whatever. It could be like a little panel light. And then that would allow you to wrap Granny's face just a little bit more. Look at that beautiful eye dot. It's always great to have that on standby rather than setting your shot and realizing, oh crap, her face is dark. And then like sending somebody out to the truck and you're rushing and now you're just burning time, right? Set yourself up not to burn time. So a shot like this, I would have, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a top light here. And then you skirt it with, with Duvetine. Just like that. So that nothing can escape. And most of the light shoots generally straight down. And that will hit Granny on the forehead. What I don't like about it is that it's not necessarily hitting her face, but this is supposed to be like a club, club atmosphere. You have those lights in the background that's doing the silly. It's dark. It's supposed to be dark and contrasting. So it's okay that you don't see her face. But if you wanted to, in addition to all of that, in addition to all this, you could, and I would always have a light on standby. It preferably an LED panel light. So Astras are freaking phenomenal. I love Astras. I love them because it's a panel light. It's a 1x1, but it's directional. They got these little cones in them. They're very similar to the digital Sputnik cones, and they just shoot light forward. They have a really, really cool tight beam pattern, and so that, without even any diffusion at all, out of frame, will hit Granny's face. Just like this. It would hit this side, and then you just dial it down, man. It's great. And now, if you want to see the face, you can, and you wouldn't have wasted a bunch of time. So this shot, and they have a reverse shot. Do they do any more? Okay, so we have shot, reverse shot. And in this case, you are in a time-sensitive setup because you have the sun, and the sun is failing. It's falling sun. And so what you have to do is you have to plan this. This has to be planned. You can see the bloom effect. All of that right there, all of this bloom, that's the Pro Mist acting. I freaking hate filters. I can't stand them. I want a clean, crisp image, although I can understand using it here. But still, this is why I don't like it. Because yes, oh look, you bloomed it. You made it look all nice and pretty, but it's also walking over into the next person's shot. It's walking over here and it's lowering her contrast as well. It's covering over her shoulders and stuff. Ugh. Anyway, so what was I saying? Planning. So they have the sun right here, and I guarantee you that's exactly where they wanted that sun. They wanted that sun right there, right over the edge where it's raking, and it's going to give her this beautiful edge light. It's beautiful. So how do you plan this with the next shot? Right here. So which one do you shoot first? And which one takes the time? Which one takes more time, not just to set up, but then to break down? Which one is the easiest to get? And so these are things that you have to juggle. And I don't have these answers for you. This is part of your job. You and the gaffer as well. So an experience will tell you this, but I will tell you what I would do in this situation. So this shot is secondary to this shot. This shot is first. I would get this shot last, though. This is highest priority to get last. When you do your scouting, scout, take note of when that sun is at that tree line. And so in that, and find like a window that you are happy with shooting. So maybe it could be 10 minutes before this, but it can't be any more past this time right now. So if like 7:30 is the cutoff, then maybe you have like 15, 20 minutes leeway or padding up until that point, and then it's dead, right? So make sure that this shot, the first one, is done well before that, maybe even an hour before that, because you can't really tell. You can't tell how high or how low it is from this angle. And so it doesn't matter. And so give yourself the padding to make sure that you nail this shot, the reverse shot first, so that you can, you have enough time. It's always better to have more time left over than not enough. So make sure that you have enough time left to grab this in multiple takes as well. How much time? That is completely up to you. I would give 30 minutes to get this shot right here. 30 minutes should be enough to grab a few seconds, several takes of that. So this shot I would have shot an hour before. I would tell the AD, hey, we should grab this like an hour before. And then and now the gear. What is the gear? So this shot, it doesn't require a lot. I would really say I don't think that it's lit at all. I don't see anything. The only thing that it needs is the camera dolly setup, and that's already built. You're going to fly that in, and then you're going to fly it out. So you have your dolly, and it doesn't really matter if it's, I think it would take more, gosh, I'm sorry, I'm drink too much water. I think it would take more time. I mean, you know how much time it takes to set up either your Dana dolly or say like a Fisher, or if it's on a drone, not a drone, a gimbal, or if it's a Steadicam. You're not going to pay a Steadicam for this one-off shot. This is absolutely a dolly of some kind. And then you look at the shot. What does this need? So this one does need setup. And I'll show you what I would do. You want to see her face. That's a lot of talking, but I'm hoping I'm getting the point across to you. So you want to see her face. At this point, her face would be in darkness. I mean, look at the background right there. That's pretty freaking dark. And you see her, she's a lot better. She's a lot more lit. So what's doing it? Also, notice up here how that is dark. This is bright. And then down here again is dark. So there is something there, right? There's something. Is there a softbox right here pointing at her face? No, you can't do that. Why? Because you are going to reflect from that direction. Anything that's on the right side of the camera is going to reflect in the glass. You can come from up high. What if you come from up high? Absolutely. So how do you do that? It's completely up to you. What I would do two things. I would come from up high inside so that we can see her face. I would do something like this. I would make it soft. I would specify to the gaffer, I want this thing to be a 4x4 size of some kind. It could be a soft box, but something around 4 feet. To make it nice and soft, because this is a happy moment for Granny. We don't want it to be any harder. So we want that nice and soft. And of course, you can't control. It is going to hit this no matter what, because it's aimed at her face. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is I would request that we also add something off to the right over here outside. 4x4 frame would be fine. Something that hits the side of Granny's face. So that's what I would do. Something that hits the side. And it's not supposed to look sourcey. It's almost supposed to look non-existent. But these two sources working together will create a wrap that lights her face beautifully. Nice and soft. I don't think you can get an eye light because the top source is going to be so tall, it's not going to see the eyes. So that's an unfortunate thing. If you try to place an eye light, you will see it in the reflection of the glass. So that's what I would do for this. I would give us enough time to have that all on standby and then swing it in so that we can get this shot, because this is the last shot. I hope I didn't talk too much. Actually, for this shot right here, that side source would already be there. It would have to be turned off because it would reflect in the glass. But there you go. Oh, looky there. It looks like there's something going on. You see this? That is not from the sun. That is from... There's a source up here. Thank you, ProMist. You tell the truth. Interesting. So they have something up there that's doing this. Cool. Cool. That's great. I think that's a great idea. I would say I agree with that. Moving on. And now we get into the more generic stuff. So you have two places you can light Granny from. This window is being used, so it can't be that. It's going to have to be the windshield. Right there. And then from behind camera. So windshield is definitely pushing some type of hard light. There's just something there. HMI. I think it's literally just a hard light. You can see the most reflection right there in the lip. Old skin, by the way, so that you know, is... Well, let's talk about this first. So, I mean, it's obvious that she's also front lit from behind the camera because all of this is lit up. There you go. So that's that. So now let's talk about the old skin, because I think that you might find this interesting. So old skin, the way our skin works, it's like sandpaper. And whenever you're first born, it is the most finest sandpaper, almost like powder. But as you grow older and the cells replicate, there's a point around 20, no, that's probably around 30, is whenever it starts becoming apparent that your skin is flattening. What I mean by that is, instead of having cells that do this on the outside of your skin, like sandpaper, what ends up happening is the cells replicate and are stretched. They stretch. They stretch. What happens when you have a light source hitting that? Light will hit this and it'll shoot off that direction. Light will hit this and it'll shoot off that direction, right? Light will hit this and it'll shoot off that direction. Light will hit this and it'll shoot off that direction. It's diffuse. But if you hit the flat skin, light will hit this and it will shoot off that direction. Yes, diffuse. But if it hits this, shoots off that direction. If it hits this, shoots off that direction. If it hits this, it still shoots off that direction. There is more shooting in the same direction because you have a flat surface. And so the result is old skin becomes more reflective. I know it sounds crazy. It does. It becomes more reflective. Almost like a plastic surface. And so this is why a lot of older people, well, the wrinkles as well, the wrinkles, there's also wrinkles. And so you want to light them with softer sources to make them look more flattering. And, but that, you know, that's a neat little tidbit, right? So, but that can tell you right there, this is the brightest spot. So the light is somewhere around this, you know, nose height. And there it is. Right there. There's that source. Yep. Somewhere over there. And it's also hitting Dude Buddy. Hey, Dude Buddy. And we do another push in. They're just doing pushes all over. That's great. That's fantastic. It's just push central. Yeah. So same thing. This is exactly so what they've done here is obviously, and what I would have done too, because it's badass, you have a light way back in the kicker position, and that's going to reflect off of anything. It's going to reflect off of Granny right there. Beautiful. And then you have a softer source wrapping in, and that's what's going to lift all of this. That's what's lifting all of this. Right there. Pretty cool. Use them together to make beautiful imagery. So cars are tougher because they're not matte. And so when you light a car, you almost have to light the whole room. Or you have to use natural sources, such as windows or sky, where you don't see the frame. And in this case, what I would have done is for a close-up of the car, because if this is inside the building, then it's going to be dark. And if you have your light source, come on, boo-boo. If you have your light source, literally a fixture somewhere over here, it's going to reflect off of this surface and then become a reflection of that light source in the camera. You will literally see it. And so how do you turn that into this whooshy, like these strips? You have to light a huge surface. So you need a powerful light big to hit a huge surface. And so I would have had a light poking up into the ceiling or a corner, and just like a big wide. That is a technical term. So just make it go like this, and it just does this. Make it add another light if you want to. Make sure that the car doesn't see your light. It only sees what it's bouncing into. And then that will create these wonderful glows that then wrap around the car and contour the car. And that's how you do that. So that's how you light shiny objects. And then all of this is natural. The bounce on the right of the car is the building, and this is just natural. Ooh, I wonder if this is like green screen or something. I don't know. It might be in a car, but they're not speeding. It doesn't matter. Looks like a PTZ. Not a PTZ. I meant FPV drone. And that is it. How they did this? I'm not entirely sure how they would have done this. You could definitely do it outside and you just put wheels on the car. Find a way to get the car to spin. That's not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is like lighting it. Anyway, so that is that it? Holy crap. How the heck did they do that? So that is it. See what I mean? Isn't it freaking fun? This is awesome. I love this spot. This is wonderful. As you can see, it's a pretty simple shoot, feasible, very easy to do, especially with the modern gear that we have, except for that last setup. There's always more to learn, and I've made an easy introduction into commercial cinematography with the popular interview styles. It's available free at StephenLightStudy.com. It's linked below, along with one of my favorite resources, Karetakent's 10 Rules for Students and Teachers. And hey, if this still isn't enough, I'm also offering critiques of your work up to 2 scenes a piece. Just check the schedule for live recordings. Availability is limited, but there is a second evergreen option if you want to submit it. I would be happy to help critique your work. So I hope this helps you. I hope you come out of it with something that you didn't know before that can help you not just craft, but plan better shoots and be more comfortable and confident in your upcoming work. I've been Stephen Lightstudy, and I will see you later